What it do? It Miggy, Miggy, and we're back at it again with another episode of Game Gab. And this time, we're gonna be looking at another mobile game, specifically or exclusively currently on the mobile platform. So that's Android, iOS, or even the iPad or tablet. It is Eterspire, a cozy, nostalgic MMO RPG on the mobile devices done right. Hi, again, it's Miggy, Miggy, and in Game Gab, we're going to be talking about the game while we show you guys gameplay. As, and right now, let's get into it. Honestly, I heard about this game in a very serendipitous moment. It was actually from watching a fellow YouTuber, so shout out to Virtuoso, for talking about the game and bringing this game to my attention. Because honestly, after watching it, after how he was talking about it, let's just say I quickly got hooked. So right now we're gonna be doing a bit of grinding, so I get to show you guys the gameplay loop. And honestly, what you see is what you get. This is a pretty basic mobile MMORPG, but basic doesn't always mean bad. So right now, I'm showing you guys how the area looks like, how the gameplay looks like. And let's just say it's really bare bones. But don't get me wrong. I say bare bones because graphic and story wise, you guys could see the graphics, the sprites, your character looks hella goofy, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Again, everything is so basic that it really makes the gameplay stand out. You're gonna realize why people are paying, why people are playing this game, paying and playing, because I will be talking about the monetization later on. And let's just say it's a really good game. Personally, this is my thoughts and opinions, so personally, it's a really good game. So right now, as I mentioned, graphic and story pretty bare bones. You get the basic sprites, a very goofy storyline. If you guys are following it, or if you guys plan to follow it, it's a very childish story, or rather a very immature story, because there are really like a bunch of childish jokes, maybe fart jokes here and there, but that's besides the point. But other than that, again, it's very basic, which is why gameplay is very necessary. Honestly, if you're playing this, if you guys are watching me play this, it looks really, really silly because look at the monsters I have to deal with. There's the sturdy crab, and then a while ago you saw the golems, and very cartoony graphics. But this is why I say gameplay is what makes it stand out. You could see by the gameplay loop, it's a very classic, nostalgic MMORPG. Even the graphics, if you guys are looking at it. So that's really what I want to talk about. The gameplay. Honestly, the gameplay is what carries this game. It really focuses on, old school MMORPGs wherein you're grinding for levels, you're questing, and it really brings you back to the good old days of MMORPGs without the autoplay feature. And it really brings that, that delayed gratification that when you're grinding gear or grinding levels, it meant something. So when you see a high level player here, you know that they worked their butts off. They spent and you put the hours in to try to reach those levels. So when it comes to flexing the equipment and the level, you could literally say or metaphorically say that it was blood, sweat, and tears to try to get those. Because the drop rates, they're very standard, very low rate. Because of course the devs want you to keep playing. And even right now, I've been casually playing this. Again, I've been casually playing this, but my enjoyment of it, my attention span still stays. I'm still playing it. I pick it up from time to time. It doesn't really need you. It doesn't require you to be a hardcore gamer, but you can. You can be very hardcore about it. But yeah, gameplay, it's grindy. It's very way back. If you played the old school MMORPGs, you'll understand what I mean. If you know, you know. So adding to that, bringing back that idea of good old classic MMORPG gameplay, you can't help but mention the idea of community. This game is really about having that strong sense of community. Parties for quests and leveling, very easy to come by. Experience through community by playing this game. Because honestly, because it's not an autoplay game, you know you're gonna be interacting with real people. And honestly, what kept me from not stopping, or what kept me going in this game, is my first-hand experience with the community. Because when I first started out playing this game, let me just bring out the item. I believe I still have it. If you guys could see, the experience I've had about how great this community was when I was starting. I was a lowbie. I was around, I believe, like level 5, level 7. And now I'm level 17. It took hours to get there, by the way. I met a random high-level player just gifted me cosmetics. The Skeleton Army Sword and the Skeleton Army Shield. It may not mean anything to him, but he did see like a budding lowbie or a low-level player really dip his toes into the game. And he was like, he taught me how to fix it and everything. So let me just see if I could bring up my friends list, because I want to shout him out. Where can we see that? Let's bring out the friend list. Come on, settings. Is it there? Nope. Is it? I believe here. There we go. So shout out to Herman. If you guys are seeing this, he's 160 with extra levels, I believe, or extra stats. I have yet to reach endgame, so I cannot really say. But this is the perspective of someone who really enjoys the game and really wants to pitch it, or, you know, let the people know about it, because it's such a niche game. But I believe diehard MMORPG players will really enjoy the game. So shout out to Herman for giving me for showing me how great or how friendly this Eterspire community is. And honestly, that's a core memory for me, and that's what really helped or pushed me to keep playing. And then, so aside, I've mentioned that aside from the grinding, there's also questing. And right now, if you guys are looking at my screen, there's a fishing for compliments. So I have to catch 10 herrings and deliver them to a character, an NPC in another part of the map. And yes, not only can you grind by killing creeps, killing monsters, killing mobs, you can also get stats for other skills like cooking and fishing, like what I'm doing right now. And you know, these are a lot of the passive things you could do. And speaking of the things you can do here in Eterspire, let's talk about quality of life. Being able to play Eterspire, a mobile MMORPG on the go, is a great thing, especially with how grindy it gets. So you can do it. You can play it passively, whether you're hardcore or casual. You know, it makes the time pass by so quickly, so often. And a great bonus is having that controller compatibility, and it really helped, because if I was playing this on a small screen on my phone, the experience will not be as comfortable if I versus me using a controller and having it display on a tablet, and I could display it on a bigger monitor. So as if I am feeling that sort of experience wherein I'm playing it on the PC, or I'm playing it like it is a game. It doesn't make me feel like, oh, I have to stop because it's draining my battery and all that. So sardine, silver sade. Let's sell all the miscellaneous items. So we're currently looking for a herring. Before I get to our point about that, let's talk about the fishing guide. So herring can be caught with a fishing net at level 7. So right now we're grinding our fishing to level 11. And by the looks of it, let's see what our level is. We are currently fishing, but let me get to my points. Wherein Yeah, like that. I'm just having this idle on my screen, use my controller, and I'm level 10. So we're gonna slowly get that herring. We're gonna be able to get 10 herring sooner or later. But while we're talking about that, let's talk about the game. And yeah, it's really nice to have this, and it makes me feel like I'm playing an actual game. Not that mobile games are not actual games, but it makes me feel like, I'm very in the role of me playing this game, because there I have a controller in my hand, and a lot of people feel like, the accessories make the experience a lot better when you're playing certain games. You weren't enabled, maybe later. That's not enabled. Okay, let's go back to fishing. And again, now let's move on to a bit of a controversial take or controversial quality of life. The fact that Eterspire has no autoplay. Autoplay is both a pro or a con, depending on who the player is or what type of player is playing the game, right? So, for me, it's a pro for this one, because you get real interactions with players. You get to really flex if you reach a certain level. You can feel like you deserved or you grinded it, and it gives you that sense of achievement or fulfillment when you reach certain levels, because of how grindy this game can be. But to some, it might not be, because of course they don't have as much time. They have work, they have a job, and a lot of people are put off by MMORPGs because of that feeling that playing an MMORPG, grinding out the levels, doing endgame content, it is a chore. It is work. It's just a second job. So here, at least in Eterspire, it makes it feel like you're working your butts off, but it doesn't require you to be a hardcore player, because you will always meet people in certain chapters, or you'll meet people in the same level or space you're at as well. So we haven't gotten a herring yet, so we'll sell all miscellaneous items. And yeah, let's continue with our fishing. And yeah, with the autoplay, I believe it fits the Eterspire gameplay loop, wherein quests are grindy, but it's not like too heavy in your brain. So next thing you know, you're playing this game for hours on end. And yeah, this is why I believe it's a plus points for me when I found out that there was no autoplay for Eterspire. And honestly, with that being said, the devs did a good job. Plus points to the devs for ensuring that grinding levels don't feel like a chore, because they did balance it out. A grindy gameplay, but then the graphics are very basic. So you don't get blinded by effects. You don't have to worry too much about remembering certain things, certain aspects of the story. It's very linear. That's the word. Everything else is linear with the gameplay, and just because of that, the gameplay shines even more. And like right now, see, I'm able to talk to you guys. I'm able to talk about the game, all the while fishing and talking to you guys about how much you guys should play, or you guys will enjoy this game. And this is just the tedious part, I guess, especially if you're gonna be selling miscellaneous items. I'm not sure. I am too scared to try to sell all miscellaneous items, and one of the quest items I'm looking for. Oh, okay, and it's gone. Yeah, so that happened. So I guess that's what makes this game a bit more tedious than some, because that quality of life, that when you're looking for a quest item, you can't just sell all miscellaneous items, because the fish will disappear or the quest item will disappear from your inventory as well. So with that being said, yeah, if the devs hear this, maybe we could do something about it, because honestly, this is what I mean about the devs. They listen very well, actually. Again, I mentioned that this game is all about community, or having that great sense of community. So maybe if a dev oversees or overhears this video, maybe they could do something about that. And speaking of, and now we have to farm again for that item. And speaking of time consuming, because that is what's gonna be happening, Eterspire goes against the standard practice of mobile MMORPGs, where you can pay for progression. So yes, I mentioned that people pay for this game. And there is a monetization mechanic in this game. But honestly, I feel it's pretty balanced. So while we're doing that, let's take a quick check. Oh no, can I do that? No, I have to step out. Wait, let's try. Okay. Okay. So there's this, a lot of the monetization is cosmetic, purely cosmetic, but there's this big one-time fee, okay guys? One-time fee, wherein you could upgrade your account to what they call Infinite Eterspire, Infinite, wherein you get certain perks that help your game quality of life in game. So basically, let's go for the upgrade deluxe because that's the most expensive one, and I feel like that is the best one to get, especially if you're planning to make multiple characters. So of course you don't get bored of playing the same class over and over again. The 100 extra inventory slots. You guys saw that every other minute I had in fishing, I have to go and buy and sell my items. With that, with Infinite, you get bonus inventory space. You get 600 extra bank slots because there's a shared bank system here, wherein you could put your items in the bank and you could transfer it to your other characters. And yeah, account stash to transfer items between characters. That's what I mentioned. And 12 extra character slots. So you could create or generate so many more characters. And there, I believe if they're saying there's 15 total, they might be releasing more classes in the near future. We don't know because right now the game is constantly being developed, constantly being updated, which is a very great thing, especially if you want to get into it. And 1,000 more crystals. That I am not too sure, but I believe that is the cosmetic currency. So you get a lot more. And the plus point here is you help Eterspire grow even more. Because when you pay for this game, you're helping the developers get the money to fund this game, to update this game, to make sure that it's better for everyone. So by doing so, you're able to help the game grow, help the company grow. And if you're looking at this, honestly, Eterspire is very free-to-play friendly because, again, these are good quality of life additions, but they're not necessary. Sure, it might be a bit more tedious to do certain quests, certain things in-game, but it doesn't mean that the game is unplayable. And if you're going up against other people who pay to play, you're not missing out on much because what they get is really purely cosmetic. And people really want to make their characters look cool and unique and stand out. So, yeah. The Eterspire is pretty free-to-play friendly, but you really get the best benefits if you do plan to support them. And personally, I do find myself, if I do reach endgame or the mid game of Eterspire, I might find myself buying and supporting this game as well. So let's just wait for the funding for that, you know. And with that being said, after all said and done, I showed you guys the gameplay loop. I showed you guys what you can do. I talked about or gabbed about how much I enjoy this game. Is this in fact a mobile MMORPG done right? Personally, I say yes, and it is worth a try for both casual and hardcore gamers because they can enjoy the gameplay. And right now, we just reached level 12 in fishing, so yes, you really will enjoy the gameplay, especially if you're coming from like different old school MMORPGs. Similarly, I'd call it, maybe name drop them, that would be Ragnarok Online, World of Warcraft, and RuneScape even. And it's a very, it's a very non-committal game to play. It doesn't take up much of your time early game because you're grinding out levels. You're still trying to get into the loop. If you don't like it, you don't need to play it because, again, it's very casual player friendly. Because the grind, yes, grindy. It doesn't mean that the game is unplayable if you don't invest the hours in it. Because right now I'm making a video while I'm playing the game, but I'm still seeing progress. I'm still doing very casual thing, but I'm seeing my character grow and improve. And adding to this, honestly, I believe this game deserves the support because of the devs as well. The devs are pretty active. Again, this game is all about community. It's all about fostering that friendly MMO, classic traditional MMORPG vibe. And honestly, unlike the big corpos, the devs here actually listen. I believe it was in the same video they mentioned that there were certain features they wanted added to the game, and the devs listened. And then when the devs implemented a certain feature that they thought would improve the quality of life for the players, it actually didn't. And then the devs listened and then pulled it out and tried to tweak and better it more so that the players or the player base will enjoy the game a lot more. And as mentioned, Eterspire is a community-driven MMORPG, and it doubles down. It's how active the devs are, the players are, and they're so easy to talk to. Everyone is there to, everyone's there to try to make sure everyone enjoys. Because what kills an MMORPG is the lack of a player base. So when you stop seeing people try this game out, and you're left with high-level players, more or less, it's just going to be the same people playing the same gameplay loop. And if they don't update it, people will get bored of the content and they will look for other games to play. But then the devs here understand that. The devs here, I believe, are players themselves. So they know that to keep this game from going stale or being just another fad, it's really the gameplay that brings the players in. Because if you're saying classic MMORPG, you don't remember the story. Maybe for some games, what you remember is the gameplay. What you remember is the vibe. And when I played this, it really brought me back to when I started playing my first MMORPG. And how everyone was friendly, how everyone was just talking to each other, because you know that every player you see playing the game was not a bot, but an actual real life, alive and breathing player. And this is why I pushed to make this video, because I believe Eterspire needs that visibility. So if you guys are looking for a new mobile MMORPG to try out, check out Eterspire. Both friendly for casual and hardcore gamers. And it's free to play friendly. And it doesn't hurt, it doesn't hurt to support the devs. But again, free to play friendly, you can pick it up, you can pick it up, you can try hard, you can sweat lord it, or you could just play it for the vibes, because it's a very social MMORPG. Much like the old school MMORPGs wherein, you need a party, you need help, you could chat, and people will respond. Because every player here is a real life breathing person. And again, if you want to check it out, check out Eterspire. And again, it's Miggy, Miggy, and that was another episode of Game Gab. Eterspire. Go play it.